Hello everyone and welcome back to a Duel Links deck list. This is a hopefully serious, not just a randomly occurring thing, where I go through a deck, analyse the skill, the actual deck list itself, some budget alternatives, and, most of the time, end it off with some replays. I've had a very good day with this deck, and it's a deck I called quite close. I really like it. Even built it in Master Duel at one point. Pure, by the way. Rockets. Not Dragon Link, just Rockets. And obviously we're playing it on Varus, because that's his staple archetype. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't. Anyway, without further ado, let's just get into the list. Now, it is an anime deck, so it focuses around the skill. So, take a little look here. Now, we'll start with the skill. Because skills will morph the main deck, so it doesn't really make that much sense to analyze the deck before the skill. We're using the skill Borrow Launch. This is Varus' level 20 skill, so you don't have to grind too much for it, you just have to get him to level 20. And it says the skill is applied at the beginning of your fourth turn. Send Dillingerous Dragon from Asteroid deck to the graveyard. It's useful, don't get me wrong, that is a quite useful effect. I'll cover Dillingerous Dragon in a second. And in addition, the following effect can only be used once per duel. If you control a rocket monster, set boot sector launch from your deck. From your deck. And during the turn, you cannot summon except dark monsters, which is not a problem. The skill can only be applied if you begin with the duel with a deck that follows the conditions below your deck, including excluding, sorry, I can't read, 9 rocket monsters, at least 9, so you can play 10, and your deck contains Borrow Dragon. So not really that harsh restriction, just play the archetype, and play Borrow, because we would cut Borrow so goddamn hard if we didn't have to. Yeah, so you have to play Borrow, we'll cover him later. You add Boot Sector Launch, which we'll cover later, but we'll cover Dillingerous Dragon now because I am not playing it. Basically, he has a weird end phase effect. Target attacks with some monster supported controls. It does not declare an attack, destroy it if you do inflict damage. I want to do it this once, gets Cosmo. It was very funny. But basically, if a rocket monster is special summoned, you can resurrect it from the graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. Which means that your Rocket Tracer equals at least a Link 3, and Borrow Dragon a lot of the time. So, that's the skill. Alternative skills are none. We do not play alternative skills. It is just Borrow Launch. Now, let's get into the deck list. To start off, we have 3 copies of Rocket Tracer. This card is amazing. You always want this card. There's never a situation... I've never ran into a situation where Rocket Tracer wasn't the answer in some way. And it's got the effect, it's a level 4 tuner with 1600 attack, so it's not that bad. Obviously, it's a Dark Dragon, all of them are. And you can target a face-up monster, a face-up card you control, destroy it if you do special summon a rocket from your deck, except itself. And you cannot special summon from the extra deck except dark monsters. Amazing. It destroys Boot Sector Launch, which is what you want most of the time. It can destroy itself if you want. It can destroy other rockets to proc their floating effects later. Incredible, incredible card. And we're also, then, that's the only rocket we are playing 3 of. Next up is 2, Metal Rocket, Silver Rocket, Magna, Silver, Metal Rocket, and Shell Rocket. So let's cover them. All of them share the effect that if they are destroyed, they can summon another rocket during the end phase. That's their standard cloning effect. But they also all have a unique effect if they are targeted by a Link monster. So Magna Rocket, a level 4 with 1800 attack and 1200 defense. I cannot speak. If he's targeted by a Link monster effect, you can send 1 monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. Non-targeting, non-destruction removal. Amazing. You will see how it's that good. Silver Rocket Dragon banishes a card, lets you look at your opponent's extra deck and banish a card from it, with 1900 attack and 100 defense. So not only is it our strongest rocket in terms of attack and defense, it shuts down a lot of the meta right now. Odd Eyes, crippled by Silver Rocket. In these replay, I do not show a replay with Odd Eyes. Be warned, but if you get this guy cripples Odd Eyes immediately. Super, super good. We'd be playing, even if it wasn't super good against one of the best decks. It's also even that good against Speedroids going first, because you can just lock them off of their Crystal Wing by banishing it, because it's limit 1. Anyway, Metal Rocket Dragon destroys all cards in its column, which means it's the only one of these guys that really hit back row. So you just pop a spell trap, and 1700 attack, 1400 defense. And the only non-level 4 we're playing the level 2 Shell Rocket Dragon, 1100 attack and 2000 defense. So in dire game states, just sit on this guy. And he destroys, right, it's a complicated effect. You destroy this card, then target one monster in the card's column, right, I cannot speak. Destroy a card in its column, and then destroy the 2 in the adjacent zones, which means if this guy's in the middle monster zone, it destroys the left and the right. But if he's in the right, it only destroys the middle, left, only the middle, because of the way Duel Links works. Essentially, it's destroy 3 cards, best case scenario. Really good. It does need a card in the middle column, so you can't just, like, set it in the middle column, blow up 2 on the sides. Yeah, but that's it for our rockets. We're also playing 2 Book of Moon. You can play 3 if you want. This is just staple slot. Quick launch at 3 because it's super amazing. Special summon a rocket from your deck. It cannot attack and destroy it. Who cares if it can't attack or destroy it? It's not going to make it to the end phase to be destroyed, and it's probably not making it to the battle phase either. Quick launch is amazing. It is super, super good at 3. There's no reason not to play 3. Let me be honest, there's no reason. There's an excuse, but there's not a reason. We're also playing 2 Dragon's Mirror. This lets us access our fusions, and you fusion summon a dragon monster from your Etric by banishing fusion materials listed on it from your field or graveyard. Doing it from your hand is useless because you can use those in your hand, but it's very easy to get 2 rockets in the graveyard, or sorry, 2 dark dragons. And it's really, really easy. You can always do it, basically. Yeah, so Dragon's Mirror is amazing. We're also playing an Necro Fusion for our other fusion spell because this does the exact same thing, but it's a trap card, so we can do it on our opponent's turn. So, yeah. I also believe I only have 2 of this guy, yeah. And we're playing 1 Boot Sector Launch from the skill. Let's cover it now. All rockets gain 300 attack and defense, which puts Silver Rocket to 2100, which isn't that shabby, honestly, from a normal summonable guy. And it has 2 effects. Special summon 2 rockets from your hand. Yeah, your hand in defense position, or if your opponent throws more monsters than you do, summon rockets up to the difference. You can only use this effect of Boost at the launch once per turn. Yeah, because it's a weird phrasing. You can only activate each card once per turn. So, super good. I will link all the rocket replays I've done before now in the description. This did come up the second effect, so. But Boot Sector Launch is here because we can get it through the skill. That's why we only play 1. That's why we're not playing Terraforming either. So that's the main deck. Now moving on to the extra deck, you can see it's perfectly balanced as all things should be. We're playing 2 Borreload Furious Dragon. This is our fusion, if you can't tell. It requires 2 dragons and quick effect. It's DPE. DPE at home. Target a monster you control and 1 card your opponent controls, destroy them. It's DPE at home, and it's stronger in DPE and attack and defense. 3000 attack, 2500 defense. Really good to just run over shit. And you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Dark Link monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but it cannot activate its effects this turn, and it's a hard once per turn. You only use each effect of Borreload Furious Dragon once per turn. Okay, so it's DPE, and I'm sure any TCG player, or anyone who's dabbled in the TCG, knows how good DPE is, or Mastered even, knows how good DPE is. Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, in case you didn't know what DPE stood for. Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. Yeah, he's really good. Destroy a card you control, destroy when your opponent controls. He destroy himself, if you need to, but because it destroys, it also procs all of your rockets effects, which is really good. Next up, our Synchros. We're playing 1 Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. It is the best going second Synchro monster in this game. Don't at me. Or do. Its name becomes Red Dragon Archfiend while on the field or in the graveyard. Once per turn, you destroy as many special summoned effect monsters on the field as possible with attack less than or equal to this card's attack, other than himself. Then inflict 250 damage to your opponent for each monster destroyed. It is nerfed in Duel Links, it's 500 in the TCG. But yeah, it's just Dark Hole for all special summoned effect monsters. It doesn't hit Blue Eyes, it doesn't hit DM, but it hits everything else they play. It hits all special summoned effect monsters, so basically, apart from Blue Eyes, really, and Dark Magician, but even that you can just beat over Dark Magician and crash into Blue Eyes if you have to. It destroys everything, just nuke, and it inflicts damage, so you can win the game off that extra damage. Next Synchro is the level 8, they're both level 8, Void Ogre Dragon. It requires a Dark Tuner and a non-tuner, so it's not fully generic. And once per turn during the player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell or trap card, while you have no cards in your hand, you can negate the activation and destroy it. Super, super good. We really run through our hand. We churn through it most games. I have ran into an occasion, I think once or twice, where I had another monster in hand, so it was dead. But you can easily just pivot and play something else. You don't have to summon this guy, but spell trap removal, really, really good. Spell trap negate. And it's basically got no cost because you'll have no cards in your hand most of the time anyway. And going second, you can even set your Dragon's Mirror, then summon this guy, so your hand's empty before you activate it to fusion summon. Yeah, just a little trick for you there. Yeah, super, super good. Next up, we're playing Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. I'm sure you're familiar with it, but I'll go over it anyway. To level 4, everything here's a Dark Dragon except one card. Detach 2 Xyz materials from this card. Target 1 face-up card your opponent controls. Its attack becomes half, and you gain that lost attack. Super good for just big swings. It is. 1, it's on theme. 2, it's probably the best OTK tool, because we really like to just win. The deck wins very fast, most games. And we're also playing Evil Swarm Nightmare. When your opponent special summons a monster, you attach a material Book of Moon! Not a hard once per turn either. Yeah, not hard once per turn. It's not even a once per turn, in fact, so he has 2 Book of Moons attached to him. He's a alright defender, you know, nearly 2,000 defense, pretty good. And you'll notice something, that with the Synchron Xyz we have a going first monster and a going second monster. So we summon this guy going first, Dark Rebellion going second, Void Ogre going first, Scarlet going second. These are good going first and second. The links are weird though. We are obviously playing the mandatory Borreload Dragon, who requires 3+ effect monsters. That can be annoying, I'm sure you will all know. Neither player can target this Neither player can target this card with monster effects. I cannot bloody read. And once per turn, quick effect, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field. It loses 500 attack and defense. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation. If start the damage step, if this card attacks your opponent's monster, you can place that opponent's monster into a zone this card points to and take control of it, but send it to the grave during the next end phase. Which is not a problem, because we can just steal a monster, attack. We can really turn. It also just outs big unoutable monsters. It does not target. No, it does not target. So, it's non-targeting, non-destruction, removal. It's great, it outs basically everything, honestly. As long as Borreload can make it to the battle phase, he can out any card. And you even get it for a battle phase, so that's nice. And then we're playing Booster Dragon. It requires 2 rockets, and once per turn, you can target 1 other face-up monster on the field. It gains 500 attack and defense. Your opponent cannot activate cards in response to this activation. If this linked summoned card is destroyed by a battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 other dragon monster in your graveyard, special summon it. That effect is really useful. It can create a little loop with Furious, fun fact. Furious can go into Booster, Booster can go into Furious. Which is cool. But yeah, it's a permanent boost, which means we can get some of our guys up in stats. Like, example, this guy only has 2,500 of defense, so we could bring it up to 3,000. This guy becomes 35. Insane. Oh, and also it's a link monster that targets, so all of our rockets. And yeah, sure, Borreload can do the same, but Borreload's a link 4. It's a lot harder to bring out. You bring it out late game. This guy, turn 1, turn 1, turn 1. So yeah, that's it for the deck. Now, I understand this deck is a little expensive, so let's break it down exactly. I'm not going to get you an exact gem cost, I'm just going to tell you boxes. So, I'm just going to start. The free cards are Magna Rocket Dragon, Silver Rocket Dragon, Borreload Furious Dragon. Yeah, those cards are all free to play. How to obtain? They're either from Varus's drops, in the case of Furious and Silva, or they're in his level ups, like Magna. There it is, level up. So those are all free cards. The rest though, well, Rocket Tracer and every other rocket we're playing, so Metal and Shell, as well as Quick Launch, Borreload Dragon, Booster Dragon, and obviously Boots After Launch, they are all found in a Borreload's mini box. Big surprise. Big shock. Lord of Borrel contains basically the whole deck. Yeah, huge shock, I know. Anyway, as for Dragon's Mirror, it is found in Soul of Resurrection, a mini box from ages ago. That one goes on sale all the time. It's in the sale category. Necrofusion, I forgot where it's from. It's from Warriors Unite, a main box SR. That box also goes on sale because it's old. As for Book of Moon, it's available in a upcoming at this time bundle, probably. And Chaotic Soldiers. Yeah, Konami's messed up with that one at the time. This does not exist. And yeah, Chaotic Soldiers ultra rare, but you don't have to play Book of Moon. If you take a look at my favorites here, it's a ton of staples. You don't have to play Book of Moon. It's just generic staple card. The extra deck, however, well, we already discussed the fusions and the links. Now these guys are, oh, this is where it gets expensive. Scarlight is found in Pulse of Quasar. Void Ogre Dragon is found in Wings of Clearness. Dark Rebellion is found in the Structure deck, Odd Eye Challenger, and Phantom of Rebellion. You get a free copy of this card if you start playing the game soon. By the way, I don't know how long that's going to last, but free copy. And Evil Swarm Nightmare is found in Fantastic Arc. 2 supers, 2 ultras. I just realized that now. So yeah, the main core of this deck, right? The core of it being the Borrels, the Rockets. It's not actually that expensive in the scheme of things. Yes, you should have 3 of Quick Launch. You can get away with only 2 Tracer. But as for budget, it is very much dodgy because there's only one other rocket in this game. That is Auto Rocket Dragon, who sends a spell trap instead of a monster. It is also a free card, by the way, so that's fun. So if you're unable to afford or just can't get lucky enough to pull enough Tracers and Quick Launch, you can supplement the deck with Auto Rocket and bump all these guys up to 3 ofs. Careful, Silver Rocket's limit 3, so you can't play your limit 3 spell traps with him. And you see here, a bunch of link monsters that you can play. You can play Mini Borrel and Overburst if you're weird. Quad Borrel Dragon is actually a really good card in this deck. I used to play it. I think I didn't have Nightmare in there and I played him instead. But this format right now, not very good. And he is in Varus's level up rewards. So don't worry, he's free. You see the Dilindris and that, they're all more rarity. Another card you can play is later on in Varus's level up rewards is Triple Burst Dragon. He's a pretty good card, honestly, but he's quite late, so unless you really grind Varus exclusively, yeah. Then you can play Allure of Darkness if you want, another good card. You don't have to. I don't play it personally because I don't feel the need for it. I don't think the deck needs that extra bit of consistency. I think it's perfectly consistent by itself. And if you're wondering, will polymerization work? Yeah, you can use Poly instead of Dragon's Mirror if you want to still tap the fusions. Or, instead, you can play a little card that's not here right now. Let me look it up. An ultra rare. Rapid Trigger. This is in Varus's level up reward. You need proof. There's your proof. And it basically fusion summons, but it destroys. However, it applies a bunch of restrictions. So, you can enter battle phase, attack, rapid trigger, you get your destruction, you get this guy, you get +2 during the end phase. pretty good. I don't play it personally because I think the Grave Banishing is much better. So, budget alternatives, the deck can budge. It can, it is possible, but you're not going to see nearly the success, obviously. As for this, as long as you stick to Dark, you know, as long as you stick to Dark, level 8s and that, Synchros, in my opinion, are not very free to play as like a sub-type. Yeah, pretty difficult. The extra deck can get up there in price, I'll be the first to admit that, but the main deck is pretty cheap, because you can supplement it with other stuff. You don't have to play the 3 of these guys and this guy. Instead, you can maybe play 1 or 2 of this guy, 2 of this, and just up all these guys to 3 if you need to. So yeah, I don't really have much more to say on this. That's the deck. And if you're wondering, these are the matte sleeves I'm using event ones. So screw you if you weren't playing. Yeah. Anyway, let's go on. I'm going to show you my ranked streak. I did very well. Actually, no, let's not do it. You'll see, right? This deck does have a high win rate, by the way. It is one of the best decks of the format right now. So here we have 4 replays. Then they're against guys from other countries or other languages. Let's start by watching them all. Our first match is up against I don't know. This is literally the 4 matches I just did before recording this. So I don't know really what I was fighting. I looked at the deck and it was like Lava Golem Turbo. You can assume how well this is going to turn out. Win streak 4, by the way. That was not with Rock. Well, 3 of it was from Rokket. Yesterday's video, the Hazy Flame video, you saw I got 1 in there. I was playing really well with Rockets before that. I probably should have... No, I couldn't save them because they were a while ago now. Yeah, he just surrenders. Okay. Next player. I think 4 is a good amount, so... I will link... By the way, and I'll just remind you. Zone. This match I was dreading because I thought, oh god, Time Lords, they're undestroyable by themselves. And the field spell makes them not field. Infinite Light makes them untargetable. Oh god. And he's going first. No! He starts by activating the skill, sending Infinite Light, which tells me he plays multiple, setting Empty Machine, activating Empty Machine, discarding Gabriel the Time Lord, to summon Metaion, or then something Metaion. We draw Quick Launch, so we activate it. But we have Mekk-knight Dragon. We get Silva because we have Tracer in hand. We activate our skill, Boro Launch, to set Boot Sector Launch. We activate it, use its effect to summon out 2 rockets. We summon Metal and Strike Magna and Metal. Then we link summon off Metal and Silver Rocket Dragon for the link to Booster Dragon. Then we'll activate Booster Dragon's effect, targeting him. His effect will also activate, sending Metaion to the graveyard. And now it's an open board. So we normal summon Rocket Tracer, destroy the field spell, bringing out Silver Rocket Dragon, because why not? He activates Empty Machine's effect to set Infinite Machine. But Infinite Machine's not going to be able to activate. Haha, take the L, loser. We set a card, synchro summon off for Void Ogre Dragon, in case he tries anything funny. And we always set Echo Fusion. And we've won. So yeah, we can out Time Lords if you can get Magna. Do not underestimate Magna Rocket Dragon. Yeah, Time Lords, if you don't have the Intuity to get Magna out, or you can't, it can be a really tough matchup. Anyway, next up. Woo! By the way, none of these guys would make a ranked replay. None of these duos were that good. Maybe that one could have, but this one's also quite fun. Chaz Princeton, big shocker, he's playing Armed Dragon. I'm going first. Woo! We draw but we got our fusion spell, so that's good. Rocket Tracer. We normal Rocket Tracer, activate Boro Launch to set Boot Sector Launch. We activate Boot Sector Launch effect to summon our 1 Shell Rocket Dragon. Rocket Tracer's effect, destroy Shell Rocket Dragon for the next turn. Because we have Dragon's Mirror, we are able to then fusion summon. And Shell Rocket's effect in the end phase will give some more material. Anyway, we synchro summon Void Ogre Dragon, stop those armed flashes. Then we banish 2 to summon Borrelord Furious Dragon. Set your eyes. We set the Commune. Shell Rocket activates during the end phase, summoning Silver Rocket Dragon because he has big attack. And we end our turn. That's a pretty good. We have a Destruction and a Negate. Enemy activates Armed Crossover, doing a bunch of shenanigans. You should know, right? Enemy activates Armed Lightning. That's not getting past me, buckle. Then he normal summons Thunder level 3. We try to destroy it. I forgot about Lightning's effect. Enemy uses 3's effect, discard 5, we book him in 5. The 5 he summons. Yeah, sure, he gets an add. He adds another 5. I don't know why he didn't add 7. Doesn't really matter. During the end phase, Shell Rocket Dragon, Silver Rocket's effect activates, getting Magna Rocket Dragon out. And we draw Magna Rocket Dragon. So we use Furious's effect, destroy the back row in case it was anything good. It wasn't, with a bluff. Normal summon the other Magna, and go for game. Fatherless behavior. I don't know why I didn't summon Dad. He might have not been able to, thanks to Dad's summon, but whatever. He didn't add it either. Whatever, none of my business. That was the game. Versus Armed Dragon. Now we learn who's the true rival who uses dragons. And the final duel of this video. But it is not the final duel you can watch me play with rockets. I have made many rocket videos so far. Lies. I've made many rocket videos so far. Well, many, like 3 I think. 2 or 3. And I would like you to check them out. So I'll link all of them in the description below. Yeah, check them out if you want to see some better rocket gameplay than this. Not in terms of me, I'm playing about the same probably. But like, my opponents are better. Enemy reveals Blue Eyes to summon alternative, and I think to myself during this, I'm like, okay, I can deal with basically everything, but Azure Eyes is a pain in the ass. Because when he can get Azure Eyes out through the quick effect of Spirit, pain in the ass. But he ends his turn on this, and so it's so much fun. We normal summon Magna Rocket Dragon, Boro launch, pretty standard, normal rocket, Boro launch, more special through a quick launch. There's a lot of launching. Summon the 2 rockets from hand. Then we overlay them into Dark Red. Activate Dark Red to reset Wickerbin because it's annoying. Yeah, yes, connection failed. But what? I'm sure it failed. Yeah, we discard that. He goes down. We activate this. We would have summoned Furious. Furious would have popped our Shell Rocket. And this, and we would have just had a lot of damage going right in his face. 7,000. So yeah, that has been the duel. I hope you all enjoyed that. I really like this deck personally. Not the duel, the video. I really like this deck personally. It's one of my favorites. It's also really good right now, which definitely helps. I bought this deck day 1. I'm so glad it's really good now.